Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Montes. We're back here. As you can see, we're on a rooftop, and we're talking about DJ Harrison, LightPower. DJ Harrison is a multi-instrumentalist who captures soundscapes and really captures timepieces through his music. And there's a real raw flow here that he taps into on LightPower. His newest release came out January 5th, 2018, and LightPower is really an interesting look into the different time periods of music and the way that he can manipulate these to become his own. He takes a lot of influences from African beats, jazz, fusion, soul, and really molds them into one giant project, and I think that this project is very successful on that as well. There's this constant shift of artistic vision in his music, and the way that he can manipulate, as I said, manipulate the tone to fit his style is very impressive. There's a lot of branching out in this project that really leads to some unknown territory and really unknown heights that I wasn't expecting when I first heard this. On the various cuts of LightPower, there's several tracks that really stand out, and Battery is the first one here. It's the really introduction to the album, and it features these samples and this African jazz that has a lot of these offbeats and this different styled tempo that can really transfer well into his sound. And moving through this instrumentation is really a sense of going back in time. LightPower kind of acts as a time machine and moves backward and also forward as well. The production on Battery is incredibly clean. That's not to say that the rest of the album is. There's a lot of muddled percussion, a lot of muddled pianos, a lot of reverberation that's used throughout the record and can really stand on its own because of that. It shows a lot of potential to become this really wide and grand piece of different material that works well within itself. And this really relies on DJ Harrison's use of depth and layering, and that really is what makes the album stand out so well. And as I said, there's really this perfect focus on the depth and layering that DJ Harrison puts forward, and that's what makes this album stand out so much as really a piece in time that can contemplate and also really rejuvenate through these methods of instrumentation. You never know what's going to come next, and you really don't know when the track is going to cut. It really does cut out very abruptly, and I think that that style is very interesting to choose from, as most instrumentals or most instrumental tapes really fade out into each other or fade into the next track. But here DJ Harrison just cuts them right in half, and it creates this real gap, I think, in the music. And it's really primarily seen on capacitor and conductor, completely just cuts the instrumental out of nowhere, and it's this real section of almost question where you wonder why he did that. But I think the method is at least interesting, and it changes it up from the usual fading in, fading out kind of endings. The real benefit to cutting them out is the momentum stays consistent and at a very fast pace, and there are several tracks here that reach under a minute where they are almost bridges or fillers to the next track, and it's really that continuing sense of flow that's interrupted that really makes a unique kind of beat project. And this constant fast pace is really present on the track Circuit Breaker, which takes a lot of these heavy muddled pianos and these bass lines that rip through the track, and the really movement heavy clasp that kind of create this real bounce to the track, then becomes muddled towards the end with this real sense of distortion. Then the track Diode really springs into action with this saxophone-esque synth and takes this transportation into this really simple 42-second beat that is quick but still substantial in the way that it is really moving and I think capturing the listener in a way. And that's really when LightPower is at its best, when it's commanding the percussion and commanding the instruments, and DJ Harrison is capturing the listener and creating these atmospheric style beats that are really, as I said, timepieces, but more capturing than anything, and they're moving as well. It's this full demonstration of sound that is present on the track Filament that I think really captures the whole of LightPower well. The Stones Throw record label veteran uses a large resource list, but Filament uses these stomping keys and this really march-esque percussion and bass lines that move the track in a different direction than every other track. And that's what makes it stand out for the most part, as the way that each track is entirely different and the switch-ups are entirely different and recognizable because of those. It's quick and it's soulful, but it stands through as a test of time to really just how DJ Harrison can be intricate and transpose these beats in his head to actual paper. The shifting tides for the music is always something that is interesting to me, and the way that he can manipulate the album to really fit into his own style, and the real style of the intrigue and the instrumentation is something that keeps me coming back to this project over and over again. And that's where DJ Harrison's LightPower is experienced best, through the long sessions where it's played continuously without many breaks, as it does feel like many different journeys that are split up along the path. It's this very flowing consciousness and wellness of DJ Harrison that I think makes it a very interesting wonderland of new landscapes that DJ Harrison captures perfectly. Thank you guys for watching. This is Matt's Music Mind signing off with DJ Harrison, LightPower, and I'll see you guys on Monday.